Hey, thank you for clicking this video. Please subscribe to the channel and let's begin solving 43 divided by 2 equals. Now this 43 on this side of the problem, we call this the dividend. And then this 2 there will be called the divisor. And then your answer will be called the quotient or the quotient, however you want to pronounce it. Quotient, Quotient, quotient. And we want to write this as a long division. So let's go ahead and write this problem. 43 divided by 2 equals as a long division. Long division. And to start, we want to draw the long division symbol, which looks like an L this way. And we need to place these numbers in the right spots. So the way I remember is by writing div for divisor and then end for dividend. Let me complete the words. Divisor, dividend. And so our divisor will be the 2, and then the dividend will be the 43. Now, let's write that into our long division, 43 and 2. So the first step is to see how many times can 2 fit into 4. 2 times. So I'll write the 2 above the L, and then we multiply 2 times 2, that's 4. We subtract, bring down the 3, and now we're there. The next step is how many times can 2 fit into 3? 1 time. So I'll write the 1 up here, and let me write the 1 a little bit better. There, 1. And then we multiply the 1 with the 2, and that gives us 2. 1 times 2 is 2, or 2 times 1 is 2. And then we subtract 3 minus 2, that gives us 1, and that's a remainder. Now, if we want to turn this into a decimal, let me just erase the R. We can't fit 2 into 1, so that's why it's the remainder. We can't fit 2 into 1. But if we want to write it as a decimal, we need to place a decimal after the whole number. And then write a decimal here as well. And then we add a 0 and then give it to our 1. And that becomes 10. So let me just do that there. So now we can fit 2 into 10. How many times? Well, 5. You can fit 2 5 times into 10. So 5. We write the 5 up there above the L. And then 5 times 2 is 10. And then the remainder is 0. So your answer is 21.5. Easy. All right, let's do another problem for practice. Let's say 5. Actually, let me write it the other way. 98 divided by 5. So let's turn this into long division. So the 5 is outside, The 98 is inside. And so how many times can 5 fit into 9? One time. And so we multiply 1 times 5. That gives us 5. And then we subtract 9 minus 5. That becomes 4. And then we bring down the 8. Now we have 48. How many times can 5 fit into 48? So 5 times 9 is, let me just write it here, 5 times 9 is 45. And then 5 times 10 is 50. So we have to use 9. So 5 can fit into 48 9 times. So I'll write the 9 up here. Oops, let me write that a little bit better. There we go. And then 9 times 5 is 45. And so we subtract. So 8, take away 5. That leaves us with 3. And then how many times can 5 fit into 3? You can't, so your remainder will be 3. So it'll be 19 and 3. However, we want to write this as a decimal. So let's go ahead and write or add our decimal there after the 98. And then a decimal right after the 19. And then we add a 0, and then we give it to the 3. And so, oops. There we go. Now we can try to figure out how many times can 5 fit into 30. So how many times can you fit 5 into 30? So just know that 5 times 6 is 30. So we can fit 5 6 times in 30. So we'll write 6 right up here. And then what's 6 times 5? 30. And so our remainder is 0. So we have no remainder. So the answer is 19.6. All right, let's try another problem for practice. Let's say 32 divided by 10. So let's write this as a long division. So the 10 goes outside and the 32 inside. So how many times can we fit 10 into 3? You can't, so let's do 32. You can fit 10 3 times into 30. So let's just write 3. And then 3 times 10 is 3 times 10 is 30. Erase that. And that subtracts to 2. Can you fit 10 into 2? You can't, so we need to add the decimals, write the 0, and then give it to the 2. How many times can you fit 10 into 10 into 20? 2 times. So we'll write the 2 above the L. And then 2 times 10 is 20. And your remainder is 0. So your answer is 3.2. That is your answer. All right, let's try solving another problem. Let's say 10 or 152 divided by 10. All right, so we need to turn this into a long division. So the 10 will be outside, the 152 will be inside. And so how many times can we fit 10 into 15? 1 time. So 1 times 10 is 10. So we subtract. So actually, to make this easier, now let's just keep it this way. So 5. This leaves us to 52 if we just bring down the 2. So 15 minus 10, that gives us 5, and I brought down the 2, so now it's 52. So how many times can you fit 10 into 52? 5. So 5, or 10 times 5, is 50. So 5 goes up here, and then 5 times 10 is 50. And then subtract 52 minus 50, that's 2. And so your remainder, can you fit 10? How many times can you fit 10 into 2? You cannot. So your remainder will be 2. However, we want to turn this into a decimal. So erase this. Let's go ahead and add our decimals. After the 15 and the 152, write 0, give it to the 2, and now it's a 20. So how many times can you fit 10 into 20? 2. And then 2 times 10 is 20. And your remainder is 0. So your answer is 15.2. And there you go. Easy.